Welcome to Chapter 10 of the VesperArcade Super Street Fighter 4 tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to go over option selects. Now, the definition of option select is doing the input that has multiple outcomes depending on your opponent's response. Option selects do exist in older Street Fighter titles, but not to the extreme of Super Street Fighter 4. This is due to Super Street Fighter 4's lenient input mechanics. Inputs are stored longer than usual to help players with their timing. It is because of this mechanic in the game that allows us to do this very powerful exploit called option select. The point of option selecting is to limit your guessing and prevent your opponent's options by turning the mind game into basically a rigged gambling machine where you will always win, if your opponent responds with a specific action or a trap, if you will. Now, before I start off explaining this, it's important that you guys know that there are thousands of option selects in Super Street Fighter 4. So instead of showing you guys a billion examples of option selecting, it's better that I explain the formula of it so you can discover your own option selects and implement it into your game. There's already a bunch of option select tutorials out there, but a majority of them just show bullet point examples, and they don't show you the formula of it to create your own, and that's what we're going to be going through. Now, there are 4 baseline option selects in Super Street Fighter 4. The first one is tech throwing option selects. Second one, jumping option selects. Third, meaty option selects. And the fourth is buffering option selects. Now remember, all these methods I'm showing you are extremely character specific. Okay, so we're going to begin off with tech throwing option selects. This is one of the very few option selects that are universal, so they work with the entire cast against the entire cast. Now remember what option selects are. The outcome depends on what the opponent does, what his response is. So how I'm going to do this is, when I'm going to show the input, we're going to call the input if the opponent does nothing, does not touch any buttons at all. We're going to call this the primary outcome. And then depending on what the opponent does, we'll call that the response outcome. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate the tech throwing option select. For this, I'm going to need my help from my friend Killy to help do everything here, because this will be the first time where I can't use the record option to help me demonstrate these. Okay, so the input for this is simply just crouch and press light punch and light kick at the same time, simultaneously. And this is your option select. Okay, so the primary outcome, when I do this, you'll see a crouch and light kick come out. Now this is because light kick has priority over light punch when you hit them simultaneously. So if Killy walks up towards me and then I input this command, I'm simply just going to hit him, so I'm going to interrupt him. But if Killy decides to walk up to me and decides to throw me and I input the same inputs, a throw occurs rather than a crouch and light kick. This is his response of throwing me, and this is the outcome. But if Killy walks up to me and starts attacking me with crouch and light punches, and I'm doing the same option select, so Killy come towards me, and I'm inputting it, you can see that nothing happens. I remain blocking. Do it one more time. So that's another response right there. If he decides to attack me while I'm in block stun, and I input the option select, the outcome will be me remain blocking. So this option select is really useful because it takes out the mind game of knowing when he's going to attempt to throw me, interrupting him so when he walks in range I attack him, and while he's attacking me I don't get hit because I remain blocking while inputting. The only weakness to it is when someone frame traps you, which I'm going to go through in another tutorial. But basically, if the opponent leaves a gap in their block string, they can make you stick out that light kick, for example, and then counter hit you for it. So yeah, use this option select to take out the mind games of knowing between the tick throw and just a walk-up throw. Okay, so a key thing to remember, guys, is to make sure you delay that crouch tech. So delay inputting the light punch and the light kick, because if you're inputting it too quickly, if the guy has holes in his block string, your light kick will come out and you might get counter hit for it. So just do it to a steady rhythm. The best way is to do it the rhythm he's attacking you. Okay, so the second example I'm going to show you guys is how you can customize your crouch tech. To do this, we're going to use priority. So you're going to use a button that has priority over crouching light kick, which is basically every button. You can customize the primary part of your crouch tech for situations where a crouching light kick is too dangerous. So with Dalsum, for example, this is what the crouch tech would look like. This is the primary example, but if I don't want it to be light kick, so let's say I want it to be medium punch. So I hit medium punch, light punch, and light kick all simultaneously while crouching and blocking. Like so, he'll do a medium punch every time. So this is the new primary outcome. And it's also very important to remember that you're holding down back, so you're blocking while doing this. So you can get that extra response so that if he's doing a block string on you, you'll remain blocking. So don't forget about that either. Okay, so I'm going to show how this will be useful. So a very common shenanigan that Rufus players will do is they'll do a dive kick on you, and then they'll throw you. And then the next time they'll do a dive kick on you, and then they'll do another dive kick, so that when you attempt to tech the throw and you'll whip the throw, you'll just simply get hit by the next dive kick. Now this is pretty much a 50-50 game, but we can use option select to help us with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a crouching normal attack that will beat Rufus's dive kick with the option select. In this case, it's Dalsum's crouching medium punch. Okay, so for the primary example, Killy's just going to do a dive kick on me and then not do anything, so go ahead. And a crouching medium punch comes out. Okay, so this time Killy's going to do a dive kick and then attempt to throw me. As you can see, I tech the throw. That's the secondary response. Now this time, Killy's going to get tricky, and he's going to do a dive kick, and then he's going to do another dive kick right after. So he's trying to punish me for attempting to throw him. So as you can see, that's when the primary example comes out. Now, what this does is it covers all three grounds. So if he attempts to dive kick again, I hit him with a crouching medium punch. If he attempts to throw me, I tech it. And if he does nothing, I interrupt him with the crouching medium punch. Okay, I'm going to show another quick example here using Ryu. So same situation where Rufus is going to do the 50-50 dive kick game. I need to find a normal move that will beat that. So with Ryu, for example, I'm going to use his crouching hard punch. So I hit crouching hard punch, light punch, and light kick all simultaneously while holding down back. Like so. Okay, so first situation, Rufus is going to do a dive kick and then nothing. This time he's going to do a dive kick and attempt to throw. And then now this time he's going to go for a dive kick into another dive kick. So basically use your imagination on it, and depending on your matchup, use whatever normal works for you. For my final example, you want to keep in mind that the normal move you're using for your primary outcome, you want it to be something that could continue a combo afterwards, so that when you do interrupt them, you'll be able to punish them a little harder than usual. Okay, so if Killy walks up towards me and attempts a tick throw and I interrupt him, like so.
Okay, Jordan, you got this.
So of course this is character specific, so you have to experiment with this. Okay, now we're going to summarize the formula for tech throwing option select. Now the formula to this is very simple. Simply crouch tech with the desired button of your choice. The desired button of your choice has to have priority over crouching light kick, which is basically every button. So whatever input you want to do, just hit it at the same time as light punch and light kick. In which case, if you want it to be crouching medium punch, for example, you press crouching medium punch, crouching light punch, and crouching light kick simultaneously. And this will be your option selection. Since this is a universal option select, there's no timing involved. The only advice I can give is hitting the buttons to the rhythm of the opponent is hitting you when you're stuck in block stun. You don't want to hit it too fast or mash it too much, because you don't want to hit it too early. You want to tech the throw late when option select teching.